Hello again, day 2 of my senior quest, aka archery. Today we're going more into the history of archery with the Mongols, woo, Genghis Khan and all that stuff. It's gonna be fun. So essentially I'm just gonna be talking about more of the Mongols in respects to archery as opposed to their full history, because that's not really part of my senior quest, it's the archery part that's really important. Anyway, so the Mongols were mainly mounted archers. They were really famed for shooting on horseback and conquering people that way. They created a vast land empire under Genghis Khan, conquering most of Eurasia. Didn't last very long, but they held a pretty wide span of territory. They had a very unique recurve bow, which I will show you a recurve bow in the next couple of episodes, but I don't have one in New Jersey with me right now. Oh well. So their recurve bow was rather unique in the sense that it was much smaller than most recurve bows, and it included a string bridge that's at the very end of the tips of the recurve bow. That increases draw weight, which isn't the best thing because that's the amount of force you have to put on the string to pull it back, like this. But it did allow them to shoot farther, which was excellent for their warfare strategy. One thing that wasn't very, was not very uncommon at the time, which the Mongols did do. They had composite bows, which are bows made of multiple materials, mainly wood, horn, animal sinew, and glue to hold it all together. It made it a much more stronger, but at the same time, flexible bow, which is much more ideal for shooting. One thing that's a very interesting fact is that these unique type of bows can shoot over 536 meters as their range. And if you don't know how much that is in feet, it's 1,758 feet, or for even more layman's terms, about under 6 football fields. I can shoot maybe 40 feet accurately, but that's because my draw weight's a lot less, so I have much less of a range. But anyway, back to the Mongols. Another interesting thing they used for their archery is that instead of holding with the standard 2 or 3 fingers that you see most of the time, I believe it's called Mediterranean style. There's other terms for it, but that's what I've read so far, which is what I use, where you pull back the string like this. They use their thumb and hook it behind the string, and then sometimes use 2 other fingers for weight, and then draw it back so that the bow isn't hindered by 1 or 2 fingers releasing at opposite times, which I find pretty cool, even though their thumbs would definitely get sore. So they use they use thumb rings that go right here, and they were often made out of jade or stone, or even oftentimes silver, which is pretty cool, and they would protect the thumb. It's kind of like a finger guard, modern day, even though I use a batting glove for that, just because I'm weird. I'll explain that also in a later video when I'm shooting this weekend. Check it out. Anyway, for archers in warfare for the Mongols, they often carried 2 bows, one that shot long distance, one for more up-close combat. They also carried over 60 arrows, which could range from armor-piercing, incendiary, which could light things on fire, fun, whistling to determine locations, and yeah, that's kind of awesome. Another cool thing that I did read, both Mongol men and women learned archery. Whether or not they were fighting in battle or not, women were allowed to fight in battle if they were exceptional archers, but everyone learned it for defense, which is pretty cool considering that's a reasonable amount of equality for the 13th and 14th centuries. Wow, who knew? And yeah, currently for Mongols, just a little update, their empire fell about mid 14th century. mid-14th? Yes, mid-14th century. Currently, they really have more archery competitions to carry on the tradition. Their winners receive the title of Mergen, which means sharpshooter. It's very competitive, very traditional. They get dressed up in all the traditional Mongol attire and go shoot stuff. It's probably a pretty fun event. I've seen videos of it. I've never attended it, so yeah. And that's pretty much all on my history of the Mongols for this video. So I'm gonna head out. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow about more history of archery. See ya!